What it do, everybody? This is Junior Zamro coming at you from Ukiah, California for another edition of Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a little independent ball out of the wine country. Then we're going to be talking about a couple bobbleheads from my childhood. And finally, we're going to be talking about a brew out of the 707. Like the great song center field says, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." My first live baseball game happened when I was 9 years old, in a rundown stadium in the farm town of Runner Park, California. The once home of the Redwood Pioneers of the California League was now the home of the Sonoma County Crushers. The Crushers were charter members of the now defunct Western Baseball League. They were founded in 1995 and had the distinction of being the only team to remain active in the league's existence until it folded in 2002. We became friends with some of the players, and eventually I was invited over the fence to become the ball boy for the bullpen. They were like family to us, often referring to my parents as mom and pops. They would always buy the boys hot chocolate and coffees to help keep them warm on those cold nights. I got to know some of the players like Armando Diaz, Lee Langley, Jeff Richards, and Kyle Washington. At the age of 9, I was warming up, grown men throwing in the mid-90s, giving me my first taste at chasing the baseball dream. They even invited me into the clubhouse and allowed me to shag fly balls in the outfield during BP. They gave me the privilege of wearing their jerseys, giving me a taste of being a big leaguer. I often gravitated towards the number 27, which was worn by Kyle Washington, as I wore it honoring Juan Marichal and Catfish Hunter. The boys would crack jokes and play pranks on me, like on my 10th birthday when they told me that they were going to prank me 10 different times. One of those times is when they put shaving cream on my hat. Then they told me, "Hey, go ask Skip who he wants to warm up." So there I go, running down towards the dugout in front of about 1,000 fans, get to the coach, and he's laughing. I asked him, "Who do you want to have warm up?" And he said, "Get Lee up." So there I go, running back, and by the time I get to the bullpen, the boys are laughing their asses off, and I'm like, "What's so funny?" I look and turn at my dad, and he's like, "Gotcha." I take off my hat, and there's shaving cream on it. That was some of the best memories that I've had as a kid. In 1998, we watched and listened as our Crushers won the WBL championship. In the later years, they tried to bring in some MLB star powers by signing Kevin Mitchell to be a player coach. Sadly, the Crushers and the WBL folded in 2002, leaving a void in the baseball community in Northern California. That is, until 2012, when the San Rafael Pacifics formed and joined the North American League. The Pacifics won the North American League Championship in their debut season. Unfortunately, the North American League folded at the end of their inaugural season. That didn't stop the Pacific's momentum as they became charter members of the Pacific Association of Baseball in 2013. They were also joined by the Vallejo Admirals, who are now currently the only holdover team from the inaugural season. In 2014, baseball came back to Sonoma County in the form of the Sonoma Stompers. There was a brief appearance by the Sonoma County Grapes in the North American League. However, the team immediately folded once the league had financial hardships. The last local team to be added were the Napa Silverados, which began play in 2018. The San Rafael Pacifics have won 4 Pacific Association championships and 1 North American League championship, making them a 5-time champion. The Vallejo Admirals and the Sonoma Stompers have won 1 Pacific Association championship, leaving the Napa Silverados chasing that championship trophy. Sadly, at the beginning of the 2020 season, the Pacifics announced their departure from the Pacific Association of Baseball. They were set to make their debut in the Pecos League out of Texas. However, the pandemic changed that plan. I hope that after the pandemic, all these teams can survive and thrive because the communities that they call home deserve great, family, affordable entertainment. And boy, do they entertain. This week's bobbleheads come from the Sonoma County Crushers and were made in the late 90s and early 2000s. The first one's up, we have Crusher, the Abominable Sonoman. Then, from 2001, we have the Make It Wine Player Bobblehead. And lastly, we have the Gold Tooth Kevin Mitchell Bobblehead. The 3 bobbleheads on the right are from Alexander Global Promotion, or better known as AGP in the bobblehead community. The Kevin Mitchell bobblehead, unfortunately, was made by an unknown manufacturer. The 3 bobbleheads from AGP are made of ceramic and come in the Fat Boy style, which means they're a little bit more stout than your traditional bobblehead like the Kevin Mitchell one. AGP's detail and quality is top-notch. They are the kingpin in the bobblehead game. These bobbleheads have been around for 20 years and their paint and their detail are phenomenal. The Sonoma County Crusher mascot has fur, textured fur on the bobblehead. Most other bobbleheads of mascots come with a flat, glossy finish. Not these 2. Then we move on to the Make It Wine Player bobblehead. He's standing on actual grapes, what the wine country is known for, and where the Sonoma County Crushers called home. Enter the Kevin Mitchell Gold Tooth bobblehead, given away in 2002 in the league's final season. The detail on this bobblehead isn't quite up to standards that AGP put out. The logo and the jersey aren't of the same quality. It's still raised, but not really done properly. I wonder what AGP would have done if they were commissioned to make this bobblehead. It's still the rarest of all 4 because it was only given out to 500 fans opposed to the 1,000 for each of the AGP bobbleheads. I really hope that the Pacific Association teams will put out more bobbleheads. I'd especially hope that the Vallejo Admirals do a dual bobblehead of PJ and Brandon Phillips, where Little Bro coached Big Bro. This week's brew comes from Henhouse Brewing Company out of Santa Rosa, California. It was founded in 2012 and focuses on artisanal brews that you can be proud of. They'd like to be known as pillars in the community that produce opportunities and beers with an intent and purpose. Today we're featuring their Mendoza line Double IPA. The Mendoza line pays tribute to Mario Mendoza, a lifetime .215 hitter for the Pirates, Mariners, and Rangers. The Mendoza line is a baseball terminology for a below-average hitter. However, this beer is anything but below average. It's made with Simcoe and Pacific Jade hops and comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, and boy, does it pack a punch. I'm really looking forward to getting into this brew, but first I gotta show off this wonderful hen that is Mario Hen Doza. So let's crack this bad boy open. Whoa, I'm getting an aggressive hop flavor at the very beginning, and it coats your tongue. There is a nice tropical aroma that comes off of it. I can see myself killing this brew with some really good barbecue brisket. That way the fat cuts through the bitterness and it has that little tiny tinge at the back of your throat that lets you know, man, I'm a double IPA. If you want a full flavored beer that you can mash like a Matt Olson home run, I suggest that you pick up this brew and give it a swing. The more you drink it, the more accustomed your palate gets to it, and the bitterness goes away. So as you continue to drink it, yes, it's heavy in alcohol, but the flavor then takes over and it becomes a really good beer. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for AGP, that way you can check out their bobblehead game for yourself. Then I'm also going to link you up with Hen House Brewing Company, that way you can find Mendoza line at a store near you. I encourage everybody to like and subscribe to our channel, because when we hit 70 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a Triple B swag bag. It's going to have brewery items from around us, and it's going to have a couple surprises as well. I want to thank everybody for joining us for this latest edition, and we'll see you next time on Baseball, Bobbleheads, and Brews.